Hello YouTube, welcome to yet another new video. So today, almost a year on from the premiere of Cars on the Road, we will be ranking finally all 9 episodes. And I might have done this in my initial review of Cars on the Road when it first came out. I can't really remember, but I want to go a bit more in depth about it now. So without further ado, let's get right into it, I suppose. So coming in at 9th place is Trucks, which I don't come as a surprise to anyone. And look, I understand it's supposed to be a kid's show, fair enough, but this episode even felt too dumbed down and kiddie for me. It's needed an excuse to shoehorn a song in there somehow. I understand why this episode was added. I think it plays its part well, but for me, it's just not. It's too, like I said, I know it's a kids franchise, but it's just too dumbed down and kiddie for me. This episode. That's all I have to say about Trucks, really. Now, this might come as a surprise to some, but coming in 8th place is Dino Park. And the Cretaceous Garden scenes were fine. I had no problems with those. But my problem is that the episode was very rushed. They tried to cram Radiator Springs and the Dino Park into one. We got one episode of Radiator Springs, one episode of the Dino Park. It'll be fun. The visuals and stuff with the dinosaurs were great. I loved those. Some of the Cars franchise's best work yet, that I will admit. However, it just felt very rushed. The fact they were trying to essentially cram 2 episodes into one. And as a result, I felt that both the Radiator Springs and the Dino Park scenes suffered more because of it. Now, next up is Lights Out in 7th place, and don't have any diecast of that, so you'll have to make do with this for the moment. I've done a Giddardo packaging, which is all the way up the top of my cabinet though, so that's that, and it wasn't a terrible episode. Again, visuals and animation were nice, and I liked the part with the Wraith Rod. Some cool references to The Shining, which works well if you're a horror fan. And I guess it was probably one of the. It's not bad. It's probably just one of the less enjoyable episodes to sit through, and I feel as though this just pales in comparison to the rest of the episodes that I'm about to talk about. And coming in at 6th place, we have Showtime, and I don't know, this episode's just sort of there. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I guess the circus scenes felt a bit repetitive and dragging on, but the whale wash scene at the beginning was very nice and a great way to reuse a concept from the Cars teaser, the Cars concept art. Don't know why I was about to say teaser trailer there. And whilst I understand that reused models was a problem in all of Cars on the Road, it felt most glaringly obvious in Showtime. Some of the models were fun to see back though, like Gremlin. We have an old Chip Carbon model. It wasn't all bad, but like I said, Showtime's just there. I don't love it. I don't hate it. This is probably just a slight bit more enjoyable than Lights Out, which is why I gave it the slight edge over it. Although at the end of the day, they'd probably be interchangeable within my ranking, really. Hello, you. No, I don't know why I was about to say that. That's just my. That's just habit. But anyway, coming in next in 5th place is Road Rumblers. And also, as an Australian, and this being a reference to Mad Max, it goes without saying I do love this. A lot of the Road Rumblers were some great models. Lot of fun, I guess. Felt like some of the battle scenes felt like they dragged a little bit, not by much, but honestly, at the end of the day, for me, Road Rumblers is not about being bad by any means whatsoever. Just more so that I prefer the upcoming 4 episodes, which we will get into right now. So in fourth place we have The Legend, and I know not a lot of people like this episode, but not a lot of people care for this episode. But for me, it was a tremendous guilty pleasure. It was a lot of fun and enjoyable just seeing the Queen and Maid goofing off. I don't know why there's something about this episode that I just found really, really enjoyable. Only issue I have really is the reused Trunda Hollow models. I didn't even try to pass them off as different characters. Um, but yeah, that's it. Really, on to the next episode. Coming in bronze and third place, we have Getting Hitched. And again, this might come as a surprise for some, but real one of the most enjoyable episodes of the entire series, in my opinion. And the soundtrack was great. Even the background characters that were reused models were really nice. And watching Mater and Marto compete and try to one up each other was honestly just so much fun. Only complaint I had about it really that Cruz's inclusion felt a bit shoehorned. She felt I still preferred her over in Cast. I still feel as though I prefer her in On the Road and Getting Hitched than I do in Cast 3 just because she's more toned down and less preppy and annoying on the road. However, I understand that when we first meet her in Cast 3 being annoying like that's supposed to be the point of her character. So it makes sense, you know. Again, really enjoyable episode. I actually really liked it. And that's it. On to the next episode. So in second place we have B Movie, and this was really enjoyable again, and a lot of great references, designs, concepts. Like those, like I was saying about the references, a lot of Easter eggs. If you keep an eye out, dozens and dozens of them. Mr. Dockett has covered them in his B Movie episode breakdown. Go back and watch that if you want to get a better idea of the the Easter eggs that are hidden in the background. And I feel like out of all the episodes, this was the one that managed to pack the most story into its short runtime. You know, Ivy's inclusion felt very shoehorned. Um, whole that's a problem of why did she leave the circus? She felt like it was going to be perfect. And the Queen and Mater ask her about the circus here, and she brushes it off as though it was nothing. But back then, she acted like it was the best opportunity she'd ever gotten. True, the only complaint I have about this episode. Aside from that, no complaints on my end. Coming in at first place, this should not come as a surprise to anyone at all, but in first place is Salt Fever. And honestly, usually the racing aspect of Cars I don't mind. I liked how Cars 2 explored more aspects than just racing, unlike Cars 1 and 3. However, I really liked the more unconventional approach to racing that they explored in this episode with the whole Salt Flats land speed thing they had going on. A lot of great models. New ones had Peggy Liner, Noriyuki, Speed Demon, that's jamming. And some of the returning models that made look quite good as well. You know, you got Rose Ursula, you got Reverend Cross / Gearston Marshall. That's all I can actually think of off the top of my head in regards to returning models. Now, this was a lot of fun as well. You know, you had explored a fair bit of the dynamic between McQueen and Mater in this episode, and in B Movie as well. That's something I liked about it. Honestly, they touched on Queen and Mater's dynamic in a way that hasn't been explored since probably Cars 1 or 2. That's something I really appreciated about this episode. I find it funny that McQueen is the sort of the more stubborn one trying to ease Mater out of getting into this land speed, whole land speed racing concept, and Mater's the excited little kid wanting to get right into it. You know, if this took place right after Cars 1, it'd be the other way around. So it's very interesting to sort of see how their roles and their dynamic changes over the years. Salt Fever. Salt Fever was a lot of fun. I wasn't a fan of some of the reused models, but Ones like Lou as the fishtail model, that was really the only one I have a complaint with. Aside from that, really, they made all of the reused models look great. That is actually it for my Cars on the Road ranking. What was your opinion? What's your ranking of the episodes? Feel free to share them down below. Maybe we can get a discussion going. That is it. So you all know what to do. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'll see you all in the very next video.